Hello, greetings everyone. If you're a fan of Bayonetta, then you most likely want to play the latest Bayonetta Origins, Cereza, and the Lost Demon. But if you don't have a Switch but want to play this game, this is the perfect video tutorial for you because I'm going to teach you on how to do that and how to install, how to get the game, how to run it, and how to optimize it so that you'll run with no issues at all. So these are the files that you need, and then also that you install the latest build of Ryujinx emulator. So the latest build is 1.167 as of recording this video tutorial. And I have played 23 minutes of Bayonetta Origins, Cereza, and the Lost Demon, and it runs perfectly in Ryujinx. So for those who don't know, Ryujinx emulator is a Nintendo Switch emulator that can play Nintendo Switch games into your PC as long as you have all of these files here installed in Ryujinx emulator. So first of all, I'm going to teach you where to get Ryujinx, okay? So open a web browser and just type in Ryujinx emulator and hit search. Now go to Ryujinx.org, that is their official website. Click on that, and then go to Get Started. And if you're using Mac, then your Mac OS should be in Mac OS 11 or later version in order for you to install Ryujinx. And if you're from Linux, you can use the installer here. And if you're from Windows, you can get the installer here. So I am using Windows 11. And I have already installed Ryujinx, so I'm just going to skip on this part because the download and installation process for Ryujinx emulator is really easy to do and is really straightforward, and any noob can do this, okay? So I'm going to minimize this now, and I'm going to assume that you have already installed Ryujinx emulator. So if you have already installed Ryujinx emulator and this is your first installation, be sure to run Ryujinx emulator now. Boot it up, and it will say that it will have some certain files needed for you to get so that Ryujinx emulator will be able to play Nintendo Switch games. So without these files that I have highlighted here, Ryujinx emulator cannot play Switch games. So what are these files? These files are the Nintendo Switch keys itself. We have two versions because the only update for version 16 is the product keys, so we need two versions of it. And then also the firmware version for the Switch, version 16, the latest version, and that the game should be in NSP file format for Bayonetta Origins, Cereza, and the Lost Demon, or XCI full format, so that Ryujinx will be able to play that game. So if you're asking me where to get all of these files, legally speaking, the only legal way to do this is that you own a Nintendo Switch and then you have modded it and installed a custom firmware in it. Because if it has a custom firmware installed in it, that means that you can access your Nintendo Switch system files. And when you have access on the Switch system files, just copy all those keys file and the firmware files and then transfer them into your PC. In order to get the game, there's no other way. And the most legal way to do this is that you buy the game, should own the game, and digitally back it up into an XCI or NSP file format so you have a copy of it forever. So if you don't have a Switch, or if you have a Switch but don't know how to mod or install a custom firmware, I'm just going to save you the hassle and teach you where to get all of these files. So in order for you to get all of these files here, I'm just going to leave a QR code here in the screen so that you can be able to scan it with your QR code reader into your mobile phone so that you will be redirected to the page wherein you can get all of these files here. So once you are in approms.com, all you have to do is just go to the middle part of the page so that it will get Bayonetta Origins in NSP file format. Once you have that, hover down into the the bottom part of the page so that you will be able to get the Nintendo Switch keys and the Nintendo Switch firmware. So once you have that, and download them and just transfer them into your PC, just like mine here. I have put them in my desktop so that you can see it, but you can put it anywhere into your PC. So now I'm going to assume that you already have the files. It's time to install them into Ryujinx emulator. To do this, just go to Ryujinx, hit File, and then open Ryujinx folder. And then open system folder here, then open version 15 of the Nintendo Switch keys first. And then all you have to do is just copy all those files, transfer them to this folder. This folder should be empty because this is your first installation. Close in that and then open version 16 so that we can update the production keys. As you can see here, there is only production keys. So that's all we have to do. Just transfer them so that it will update it to the latest version. Then close in this, close the folder. And then it's time to install the firmware. To install the firmware, all you have to do is go to Ryujinx, go to Tools, install a firmware from XCI or zip file, locate the firmware, click in that, and hit Open. And we'll say that you'll have to install it, hit Yes, and it will say successfully installed. Hit OK. And as you can see here that your Ryujinx emulator now is updated to version 16, the same as the firmware here. And also, you will know that it is successful because it will detect your Nintendo Switch games and it will show you their game icons. But if there is no game icons, that means you have a fake file or that your firmware is outdated and your keys are outdated. So what's the next step now? The next step now is to optimize your Ryujinx emulator so that you'll be able to play Bayonetta Origins, Cereza and the Lost Demon in its maximum performance with no issues and black screens. To do this, just go to Options, go to Settings, and here, just copy my settings here. So just pause the video and copy everything. So the game directories is where you'll put your Switch games. It could be anywhere into your PC as long as you know where it is, okay? And the game should be in XCI or NSP file format because that is the only format that Ryujinx is capable of reading. Now go to Input. It's better that you use a controller rather than mouse and keyboard because that is really hard to control while playing Switch games. Now to configure this, go to Player 1 and hit Configure, and then your controller will be detected here. So I have been using a Pro controller. If you have an Xbox or PlayStation controller, you can also use them here. Okay, so then the dead zone should be set in 0.20% so that there will be no drifting in your playthrough. And once done, hit save. Now the next step is go to System and just pause the video, copy every setting that you see here. Now go to Graphics. This is the most important part, so be sure to copy everything, okay? So graphics backend multi-threading should be on. Graphics backend API should be in Vulkan. Your preferred GPU is your dedicated graphics card. Your enhancements is that you enable shader cache and enable macro HLE. Resolution scale is that in 2x resolution, so that the game will look sharper and much more beautiful. But if your PC cannot handle that, then just revert to native resolution of the Switch so that you'll be able to play the game with no issues. But for me, I'm 2x resolution because my PC can handle this and that my monitor is at 1440p. Now, post-processing effect is none, upscale by linear, and isotropic filtering auto, and aspect ratio is in 16:9, and hit apply and save. Now your Ryujinx emulator is now fully capable of running Bayonetta Origins, Cereza, and the Lost Demon and all of the previous Switch games with no issues at all. So a little bit of a disclaimer, I'm gonna show you guys a gameplay of Bayonetta Origins in my PC running in Ryujinx emulator because we all know that Nintendo and YouTube is really strict on this kind of content and they don't want it to be shown in the internet. So if I show you this kind of gameplay, then my channel will be taken down and my videos will be taken down. So I hope you guys understand on that part. But as a proof of this video tutorial, I'm going to show you a little bit of boot up in the title screen. I'm just going to blur the screen in Ryujinx so that Nintendo will not be able to hit me with their copyright strike when I play and run the game into my PC here. And once I am in the title screen, I'm just going to stop the emulation, okay? So I hope you guys do understand on that part. Now I am in the title screen, so I'm just going to stop the emulation now. So guys, as long as you follow all the steps that I've shown you in this video tutorial, then you'll be able to play Bayonetta Origins, Cereza, and the Lost Demon with no issues at all. So if you have some questions regarding the installation process of this game into your PC, then just leave a comment in the comment section below and I will try my best to answer all of them. Subscribe to my channel because this will really help me out. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Goodbye for now.